everyone. How are you doing? It's been a while. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is your sister, your friend, your girl, your wife, Kafaya Lifestyle and Wisdom. And once again, I welcome you to my YouTube page. And this morning, I would like to be budging into a topic and Nigerian and the food we eat. A lot of people we eat food that we don't know where it originated from, how it's been planted, cultivated, and produced to the food that we consume today and literally enjoying in our various homes without having the basic knowledge and the health benefits, the nutritional value that this food tend to produce while consuming it. So here this morning I would like to talk about a popular meal here in West Africa, normally called egusi. It's a melon, though it looks like watermelon. A lot of people tend to confuse it for being watermelon. When you see it, you're like, is this not a watermelon? No, it is not a watermelon. So I'll be telling you how this particular wonderful soup is being planted, where it's being planted, where you can find it, how they produce it from planting to the level of it being cooked. So stay tuned and continue to listen to me. Continue to subscribe in my bio to enjoy this wonderful section. So here is what I've discovered so far. Egusi melon farming is popularly agricultural practice in West Africa, particularly in Nigeria, where the seed are staple ingredients in soup. Yes, and the citrulous people eat a Sicilian seed and closely resembling watermelon plants, as I have said. It resembles watermelon plants, but it's grown for its large white seed. And rather than eat its bitter pulp, yes, you can eat it, it's not edible. Yeah, watermelon, when we eat watermelon, we cut it, we enjoy it, but no, egusi is not watermelon. So let me proceed, and I want to tell you about the countries where egusis are originated from. Grown in tropical Africa. Commonly, as I said, it's associated with Nigeria. We have other countries which these wonderful plants are grown, cultivated, and marketed from the farmland to the marketplaces. We have Ghana, we have Cameroon, we have Ivory Coast. Yes, and in Ghana, this particular seed, we call it here in Nigeria egusi because this particular soup is from Igbo. The Igbo people are the first people who brought this innovation, followed by the Yorubas. Yes, if you want to know the people that really enjoy and the people that can cook this egusi, this particular egusi, we give it to number one are Igbos, followed by Yorubas. So in Ghana, egusi is called agushi. It's spelled Agushie, agushi. That is what the Ghanaian people tend to call it. So, as I'll say, how egusi production from farm melon plants to the market. How is it being produced from farm melon plants to the market? Number one, the farmland is cultivated. The cultivation of the farmland is very important, and the appearance. Egusi plants are non-climbing creepy with the deeply labeled leaf that form a dense ground covered with herb-suppressed seeds. Now, number one is planting. The seed are planted within 2 to 3 per holes. Yes, that is how they plant it. They give it to when they want to plant the seed of the egusi, they have to put the seed, either one or two, into a particular hole, per holes of the what they have dug, and about 1.5 to 2 centimeter of the hole is being dug. Yes, and 0.5 to 0.75 in depth. That's how deep when they want to plant the seed, which is roughly about 1 meter spacing growth. The fruit looks like small round green strips like watermelon, as I've said earlier. So the harvest. Now let's talk about how it is harvest, how you know when egusi is ready. The harvest is approximate 90 days. Yes, it took 90 days for you to have that round melon that later being produced to the egusi where you and I consume in our homes. It takes them 90 days after planting it. Then we have reaping, how it's ripe, the ripening, how you can identify, oh, this melon is ripe. When you have the green, after 90 days you see it in a very round shape like watermelon, then how can you identify it that it is ripe after that 90 days? When the melon turns yellow and start to crack, it will start to crack. When you know, if you are familiar with farming, you understand that watermelon doesn't have to be yellow, it doesn't have to crack before the harvest. I will still talk about watermelon planting later on. That will be another sections of video that you'll be seeing on my page, Kafaya Lifestyle and Wisdom. This is what I bring to you: lifestyle, everything that has to do with things. So the yellow, as I said, it has to crack and ready for harvest. Gathering, farmers harvest them and usually pile them in a heap on the field. Then when it is ripe, you detect the yellow, the cracking, then you harvest them, you gather them in a heap on a field. Then the fermentation and seed extraction. The fermentation and seed extraction. Um, Slicing the melon as sliced or broken open to expose the seed. When you slice the melon, you break it open to expose the seed inside. The fermentation, the melon are left to open for at least 3 to 7 days. Yes, after you that is how the process of eat. That same egusi soup you eat so easily in your home, it's well processed with a lot of effort for the farmers to produce that delicacy that we all enjoy in our homes. It takes 7 to 3 days after you open them for it to be left open for it to to make it soften, rough, and make it easier to separate the seed. You make it easier for you to separate the seed. Then you start scooping. You scoop it. You scoop the seed, and when the seed are scooped out, you see that they are decomposed from the poop. So you bring it out. Then we have another process of washing and drying. Washing and drying, you begin to wash out the slimy seed because it's normally usually slimy when after being fermented, the fermentation, the rot process, you have a very slimy seed. You bring it out, you put it in a perforated basket and wash it truly in a stream. The people that farm it, they can wash it in a stream, they can wash it in a basin to remove the pulp reduced. So drying, the seed is clean and spread out on mats. Yes, sometimes tarpaulins are used, bare floors are used for the drying, for some to sun it for 3 to 4 days. After the whole washing, the fermentation, the harvesting, the cultivating. So when they do that, they dry until it is ripe, until it is hard and often well shaken. Because when you remove it, it will be roughened, it will be hard, so you shake it up. Then we have the shelling or shelling or dehudding. We call it shelling or dehudding. Dehudding, the dry seed are shelled. Sometimes it's called dehudding, just as I said, dehudding. Dehudding. So when you remove the outer stalks, then you review leaving it to that white creamy seed kernel we use for cooking. Now let me tell you some things about this egusi, particularly Nigerian delicacy. The health benefits that we know, we just eat sometimes, we don't know the health benefit that this food, this particular meal offered to us. So as it is, I will be mentioning what are the health benefits. Continue to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for watching and following me all this while with my little burst of knowledge. Thank you for following my page. I really appreciate you. So as I'm saying, when in Nigeria here, this particular famous soup, egusi soup, is usually being paired with starchy dishes. Yes, we know we Africans like to swallow, especially Nigerians, like to swallow pounded yam, fufu, and eba. Yes, eba. So one thing about the health benefit that this thing produced to us, the health benefits of you eating that famous soup egusi, is that number one, it's healthy and unsaturated fat. Yes, it has an unsaturated fat, about 50%, an essential mineral offering significant health benefit. It promotes a healthy heart, and also builds immune system, aids digestions, and enhance a healthy skin and hair. Like we Africans, our hair is so full of protein. That's why we don't have this fall of hair. You see, our hair is very strong because of the food intake. That's why you see us having a beautiful braid just like the one I had. Like you can imagine, I've taken this hair like maybe a month now. Yeah, I did it I think last month, 11th. But it's still looking good when I just cream it, brush it. I have healthy hair because we Africans don't need straightening, we don't need a lot of conditioning to make our hair grow. It grows naturally due to the intake of food that we tend to eat here in Africa, specifically in Nigeria. Because Nigeria, we have a way to our food. Kudos to the Igbos, to the Yorubas, to the Hausas. We eat food like medicine in Nigeria. But also, don't get me wrong, a lot of Nigerians tend to, mix this particular, abuse the opportunity by becoming obese and having sickness, the advantage and the disadvantage. Let me continue to share the health benefits of egusi. As I said, it supports health, it aids digestion, it supports healthy skin, and acts as a nutritious low carbs plant based on protein source. Yes, let me continue. And as let me quickly read into my discovery. As I said, rich in supplements, egusi soup essential mineral including calcium. Yes, healthy bone. That same egusi soup, it has calcium. It aids healthy bone, iron, and help oxygen transportation. Oxygen transportation. Sorry, I stuttered. So it helps iron and oxygen transportation, potassium, making it a nutritional additional to diet. You can imagine that same melon, the same famous egusi Nigerian delicacy. That is our, everybody, every country has its own trademark. I've not seen a country who can prepare this delicacy the way we Nigerians do it. We have a particular specialty to it. Kudos to the Igbos and Yoruba once again, and also the Hausas. They all do it, prepare it wonderfully. So, as I said, egusi is naturally low in is cholesterol free. Yes, is cholesterol free. So you don't have to worry about you being having it, too much of cholesterol, because it produces protein, as I've said. It's cholesterol free and highly vers versatile. Versatile, allowing for nutritional low carb or keto friendly skin and healthy hair. As I said, it highly contribute concentrations of niacin and fatty acid, niacin and fatty acid. So strengthening hair fabrics and contribute to a healthy radiant skin, particularly smoothing wrinkles. When we say black stone crack, it's actually true, because when you find us as a real African, we don't have wrinkles. Can you imagine if I tell you my age, you'll be amazed that is she just 30, or probably some people said I'm 29, but hey, when you're in your 40s, early 40s, then you know what we say. In those 80s, when you are born 1980s or 1980 something, then you know that black don't crack. So let me continue. I said it's high protein and muscles repair. The same egusi that we are consuming, high protein and its muscle repair. Egusi is highly fatty, particularly in omega 6. Omega 6, yes, and unsaturated fatty acid, as I've said, which help lower unhealthy cholesterol level. It helps lower unhealthy cholesterol level, and the it also contains magnesium, also assists the regular blood pressure. We Africans are really blessed, and we tend to overlook all these things without knowing the really health benefit that these things gives to us. We just say, it's our normal swallow egusi, shebi is just egusi now. It's not just egusi, you are eating life, you are eating food like medicine. So the blood pressure, it helps regulating the blood pressure. High protein and muscles repair, as I said, with 30% protein composition. This seed acts as an excellent plant-based protein source for repairing tissues and supporting overall body functions. So when you are eating egusi, please worship it. It's medicine. It's very highly medicinal and good for our health. So I will be talking about a lot of Nigerian our meals, the where it originated from, explaining how it's being planted and cultivated. So my next video will be on our popular eforiru, and in this next video I will be posting, I will even be preparing the eforiru and explaining why I decided to cook it in that way, how eforiru is planted, and who eat it best. So Stay tuned for another episode. Nigerian and our food, the health benefits, where it originated, how it's planted, the history behind it. Stay tuned and continue to follow my YouTube channel. So let's I forget the disadvantage. We've talked about the health benefits. Some people tend to abuse the advantage of so many food. That is why when you are eating food, everything has its own approximity, the measurement, the right timing of consuming these meals. Some people will like, okay, because Kafaya said egusi is healthy and you eat that as your breakfast. No, it's not good. As you see us as a human being, our body is like a electricity function which function in our system. So we need a particular flow that will help us carry on in our daily activities. Like as a human being, when you wake up in the morning, you take first thing first, you take lukewarm warm water. It will help you to energize you. Then you follow it by fruits, varieties of food. Me, I eat fruits in the morning for my breakfast. Then I follow it my brunch with maybe like hot meal like egusi. Then I might have it as brunch, as lunch, to help boost my energy to carry on the activities. We Africans, our weather is harsh. Yes, we have sunlight and all those things. So we need as many protein to protect us from the sun. We have all these food. Sometimes there's some food that we contain, that we eat, that give us a natural sunscreen guide. It helps us to keep us away from the harsh weather. So when you wake up in the morning, is a very wrong diagnosis for you to eat egusi soup. Make sure you eat fruits, eat vegetables. You can eat tomato, fresh tomatoes, like lettuce, tomatoes, avocado. That's another good one. Banana. That's another good one. But you think that all those things are little. But let me shock you one thing. If you want to be looking younger than your age, the way I look, I'm blushing. So you have to make sure what you are eating, your food intakes, you are eating live. It keeps you from hospital. It keeps you from spending unnecessarily. So, and this wrong diagnosis or dietary makes a lot of Nigerians fall sick, because when you are eating pounded yam, eating egusi, automatically this food is going to slow you down. Yes, it's going to slow you down instead of giving you the right energy, because you are consuming it at the wrong timing. So continue to stay tuned. As I said, I'll be dropping another video of me cooking our popular eforiru and how I think it's done. It should be done and well prepared, not in the normal old traditional ways that people come, the norms, the mundays that people prepare it as. So I'll be giving you the tips and why it is important for you to follow the method I use to cooking. So stay tuned. If you know me, you know that I have what I said, mass cafe cook. So stay tuned for mass cafe cook on papaya lifestyle and wisdom. I love you guys. Bye.